and welcome to today's practice. Today we are going to explore a meditation that I have called Breathing Bones Meditation. And what we're going to do, we're going to bring our attention to the sense of touch into our hands, and via the sense of touch we're going to connect to collarbones, sternum or breastbone, front and side and back of the ribs, and feel those bones as they move with the movement of the breath. So I invite you to make yourself really comfortable in terms of clothing, in terms of supporting your body as you sit like I am doing, or you might want to lay down on the ground with your legs either extended, long and floppy, or your legs bent and your feet comfortably placed on the ground. So stop the video if you need to stop it, to make sure that you are making yourself comfortable, and you will be comfortable for the next 15 or 20 minutes-ish, and come back to the video when you've done that. Please bring your hands, the back of your hands, to rest on your knees or thighs or lap, anywhere that you feel comfortable with. And if you need to, you can look at your eyes, or you can look at your hands, or you can close your eyes and just start to bring awareness into the palm of your hands and the tips of the fingers. And just notice things that are easy to notice, such as the temperature. What is it, the temperature that you feel at the tips of the fingers and at the palms of your hands? And then some other qualities, such as, are the hands dry? Does the skin feel dry, or does it feel sweaty? And then, do they feel alive and connected to the space that is around them? What about the space in between the fingers? Can you feel that? When you feel ready to, bring your hands together and slide your hands or caress your hands into one another. And I like starting slow. So I'm not doing this to create any heat. I'm just doing this to really bring more curiosity to that sense of touch available at the skin in my hands. And if you like, you can even brush your hands to the back of your hands and even into the wrist if you like, a little bit as if you were washing your hands. And then you can brush a little bit faster, and that's going to create some heat, likely, depending how the temperature is in the hands. Okay, so the fingertips, bring them to the very beginning of the collarbones. And the collarbones begin at the base of the neck, center of the chest, the highest point of the chest. And you'll find the beginning of the collarbones because they begin with two bits sticking out, a little or a lot. It depends how the body that you live in is structured and put together. So just find like those 2 points at the base of the neck, and you can do a little bit of tapping, you can do like circular movements, and if there is anything else that you want to do, just quietly, curiously exploring how that bone feels like in terms of texture, in terms of softness or hardness. Begin to walk your hands on the collarbones and feel the shape. What sort of shape do they create? And you can go backwards and forwards if you want. So when you feel ready, walk your fingers all the way to their ends, and in there you find where the collarbones meet with the shoulder blades, and they create a joint in the shoulder. And again, you can circle around, you can do a little bit of tapping, and I like tapping because it's like hello. And I also really like this place in the body because collarbone is at the front of the body and shoulder blade is at the back. So it's like that point where the front and the back of the body meet. It's like that bridging point. And so when there is movement, is like front and back of the body moving together in a global way. Walk your hands back, still on the collarbones. Anytime you feel like I'm talking ahead of the pace that you need, please stay with your pace and join the guidance that I'm giving you when the time feels good for you. So, in between that beginning and end of your collarbones, find a place where you feel comfortable to keep your fingers and hands resting. So for me, it's pretty much around there, but you might want to be a little bit towards the center, or towards the end, or towards the beginning. Any of those areas is fine. Allow your hands to rest wherever they can rest, and also your arms. Keep them close to the body. So the further away we bring a limb to the body, the more we need to work in order to maintain that limb in that position. So find a place where your arms can be supported and just not doing much. If it's okay, let your eyes close. If not okay, keep the eyes open. And give yourself as much time as you need to drop into a place where you become aware of your own breath without the need of fiddling with it. And I'm saying this because it happens to me, and I see it happening with people that attend the classes that I teach. Whenever we are asked to bring awareness into our breath, immediately we have the tendency to change it into a deeper version, a fuller version, a slower version. We got to do something with that. So I'm asking you to gradually let go of that and allow the breath to just be itself, so that the breath begins to breathe you, and you let go of the effort of chasing breath after breath. And so by stopping chasing the breath, you can move into a place of observation, which eventually will become more and more refined in terms of curiosity and in terms of presence. So when you find yourself landing into that place of curiosity, observation, and listening, notice if the movement of the breath moves in any way the collarbones. And pay attention if you're trying to make the collarbones move. Let go of that. Let it go without forcing that letting go. Slowly open the eyes if closed, and from where your fingers are, walk them back towards the beginning of the collarbones and then downwards. So now we're connecting the fingers with the sternum or breastbone. So it's pretty much at the center of the chest. And walk all the way down until you feel that it ends. And at the end of the sternum, you'll feel the beginning of the rib basket. And you can palpate that area as well if you like, otherwise you can stay on the breastbone. We're gonna come back to that anyway. So journey as many times as you like up and down to feel the surface of the sternum, and again you can do a little bit of tapping and explore. Is it soft? Is it hard? Does it feel like the surface is uneven and kind of undulating, or does it feel flat? Is there anything coming up emotionally for you as you connect with this bone in the body? And if anything emotional that comes up becomes overwhelming to the point that frustration, anxiety, they really bubble up strong, and that makes the experience overwhelming, please come out. There's no reason for you to stay with that. Come out, let go of the practice for as long as you need to. Bring your hands, the back of your hands, to rest on your legs again, and just bring awareness into your hands for as long as you need to. And then when you feel that overwhelming emotion or overwhelming emotions begin to settle into a quieter space, come back into the practice. And if for today that's it with the practice, it's okay. Come back to it another day. Because one of the things is that we keep coming back to a place where we feel safe, so that we can explore our emotions, our thinking, and our bodies. If we're not feeling safe, that is challenging and sometimes counterproductive. So, if you still are journeying up and down on the sternum, find a place where you feel comfortable to let your fingers and your hands rest, and also your arms. Eyes closed or not, your choice. Give time to the breath to breathe you. And notice how that bone moves with the rhythm of the breath. If you feel the pulsing beat of the heart, what is it that happens to that pulse when there is an in-breath? And what is it that happens when there is an out breath? Maybe if the eyes are closed, you wish to keep them so. Walk the fingers all the way down until you feel that place where the sternum ends and the ribs, the low ribs begin. And trace the lowest ribs that you can feel at the tips of the fingers. At some point, as you travel sideways, right and left, you might feel also the floating ribs. Now bear in mind that some areas of the body are covered in less tissue than others, so bones basically stick out a little more than areas where there is more tissue covering the bones. So have a exploratory walk of your fingers all the way to the back of that rib basket, and use your hands, use your fingers in various ways. So you can apply tapping, you can apply circling, you can apply wiggling around, and just explore as you feel again the texture of those bones. Are they, you know, if you gently poke in, do they move or do you find resistance? And when you are ready to, please bring the hands back to the front of the body and let your fingers connect to the lowest ribs. The thumbs are going to be on at the bottom of the chest, and the rest of your hands are going to rest on the front of the ribs. If you find that your arms are tired, just have a rest and come back to the practice when you're ready to. So, with your fingers resting on the lowest ribs and your hands resting on the front of the ribs, come back to that breath awareness, where the breath is breathing you. And notice the movement. How is the rib basket moving with the movement, the ebb and flow of your own breath? Move your hands to the sides of the ribs, and you can have your thumbs facing back or forwards. It's up to you. Choose the most comfortable location. And you're basically holding the sides of the ribs into your hands and fingers. So again, lowest side ribs. And notice the quality of the movement, what happens. Is it different in any way from the front of the ribs? Which ribs are moving more than others? Walk your hands to the back of the body, and you could have the hands, the fingers facing down like I'm doing here, or you could do the same thing that you had before, so you just have your thumbs connecting with the back of the body. Up to you. How do the back ribs receive the breath? how do they breathe differently from the sides and the front of the ribs. Or maybe front, sides and back of the ribs, they all breathe in the same way. Release your arms and just give your hands and your arms a little bit of a shake and a little bit of rest. We're going to come back to the side of the ribs. So bring your hands to hug the sides of the ribs. Hugging is also a great tool to inject the bloodstream with oxytocin. So hug yourself and hug people that you love as well. Always ask for permission, or ask for permission when you want to hug a person, because we all have, we're like containers of stories and experiencing and emotions, and we actually never know what is going on for another person. So even before hugging, I think it's good to receive that yes from body language or words. So with your hands connecting with the side of the ribs, a very tiny effort to increase the volume of the in-breath and the out-breath into the sides of the ribs. Very tiny effort. The breath doesn't have to become tiny little bit more. So that you can experience a gentle, deeper expansion and retraction of the side of the ribs. Notice what is happening for you. What is happening with the breath? What is happening physically? What is happening emotionally? And what is it that you're thinking about? that we move into a space where there is acceptance of what we see, what we have, what we feel. Release your hands to rest anywhere you wish. And as the hands come to rest, feel and listen to the feedback that they're giving you. We're going to bring this practice to completion by planting a seed of gratitude into one of those areas that you connected with. Collarbones, breastbones, ribs, you choose. You may want to bring both or one of your hands back there, or you might want to keep your hands resting. And repeating with me 3 times. Today I am grateful I woke up. Today I am grateful I woke up. Today I am grateful I woke up. Let the sound, let the vibrations of the words land. Let them be received by the bones with which you're connecting, or all of the bones that we have explored today. If the answer to the invitation to bring your hands together is a yes, please do. If it's a no, keep your hands where they are. Maybe you wish to bow the head. Maybe you wish to keep the head upright. Maybe there's a desire to bow all the way to the ground. Any way that can really hold you and nourish you as you bring the practice to completion. And once you get there, please remember to put these experiences into writing. The sooner the better, because it is still fresh. Write down the gratitude sentence. Today I woke up. Today I'm grateful I woke up. And you can write it once, you can write it twice, even 10 times. Do what serves you. Thank you for being here, and it's my wish that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you.